Because it wasn't what I wanted to do. Because I went from being so passionate about something to then going, okay, I'm going to do this because this is a sensible choice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sensible. But Jesus Christ, how old were you? You're only 29 now. I can't believe you've been in the business of wrestling for 12 years now.
Well, I'd given up for 7 years.
Okay.
So then I was sitting there and I didn't have any friends over there, and I was
now, why did you have any friends over?
I had no way of getting around because I isolated myself.
But I mean, you didn't get out. I mean, just didn't go meet people.
I didn't want to. I wanted to stay and like focus on my diet because I was like, okay, well, I know that if I focus on my training and focus on my diet, well, that would be my thing. But I didn't want to go out and but I had failed PE, right?
You failed PE.
I failed.
I just watched you and Sasha Banks rip the roof off the building off NXT. What was it? Takeover, Stopover. You tapped out. What was it?
Unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome match. I talked about it in my close. It's my recommended viewing of the day. So
I had failed PE. So
how did you fail PE? You're a hell of a damn wrestler.
I would just stand there with my.
Did you have an attitude problem?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Tell me about this.
So, I just, I did what I want and I didn't want to run. I just showed up and I didn't want to run. So I'd stand there with my stick in my hand, my hockey stick in my hand, and, and I just refused to run. My ma would come into the parent teacher meetings and just leave in tears.
What kind of student were you?
At that time, I was average. I was average. When I started wrestling, that focused me and that put me on the straight and narrow. I ended up doing really well.
So did you finish school in Ireland?
I finished school in Ireland and then I went to college. I studied history, politics and philosophy, but I dropped out of that to go off to Canada and become a wrestler.
When was this point when you decided, what were you, about 5 or 7 years in, you decided this wasn't for you?
I was 3.5 years in.
3.5 years in?
3.5 years in.
So what was this epiphany said, this is not what I should be doing?
It wasn't as much of an epiphany. It was a struggle. You know, it was, my ma didn't want me wrestling. I'd lost my way. I didn't know, I thought, if I look a certain way, that's what's going to get me in. So that's why I started on bodybuilding. And then I dieted down so much. I was depleted. Every bump hurt like nobody's business because I was just a rake, I was. And I just depleted myself. But I still loved it. But I doubted myself.